G'day trendsetters, and welcome to the 2024 Made Show here in Portland, Oregon. Let's get cracking.
I'm Arthur, I'm here with Neuhaus Metalworks. Here we have our Epion titanium gravel bike. We bring in the 3D printed Y-yoke as the connection between the seat stays and the top tube. Allows us to offer a bunch of stock-sized frames, so we can get the right size bike for nearly everyone. This one has a bead blasted finish with the logos masked off to give a nice brushed finish. We've adopted the UDH standard so that we can ride with the new direct mount derailleurs if necessary. And we have embraced the cable. We've got full 3D printed cable ports to adapt to pretty much any standard drivetrain that's on the market these days. Great ride quality, no seat stay bridge, offers a bunch of compliance in the rear end and pretty snappy handling. We've maxed this one out with a little oversized 48 millimeter wide tire. The bike is rated for a 45 in this configuration.
What's the website?
The website is neuhausmetalworks.com, N-E-U-H-A-U-S, neuhausmetalworks.com.
Hi, I'm NIkas from NIkas Bikes, based in Fort Collins, Colorado. I make custom steel, mostly fillet brazed bikes, specializing in gravel, but make hardtail mountain bikes, track bikes, road bikes. Everything's fully custom with in-house paint. And yeah, relatively new brand. Been making bikes for a year and a half, but you know, willing to make anything. All right, so here's the first bike I ever made. It's got the S&S travel couplers for easily putting in a car. Yeah, it's my own personal gravel race bike, so I've ridden, I think, 9 events on it, and it's going strong.
What sort of steel do you like to use for your bikes?
It kind of depends on the frame and the style. So this bike here is all Columbus. It's got a Columbus Max down tube, which is ovalized, and then it rotates 90 degrees at the bottom bracket, and then Columbus Life. So this is the lightest gravel frame I've ever built. It's 1,700 grams, which is pretty good for a 57-ish centimeter gravel bike. But then other than that, Data Kai and Reynolds are also pretty good brands as far as, you know, tubing specs.
What's your website?
www.nikasbikes.com, and you can find me on Instagram at NIkas Bikes.
I'm Logan with Ortlieb. We're at the Made Show with some of our existing bike packing products, like our Fuel Pack, which is a 1.5 liter totally waterproof magnetic closure. I say totally waterproof. It is splash proof from all directions, but it is not a submersible bag. Meanwhile, our frame pack down here with a tie zip zipper is a submersible bag. That is a totally waterproof bag, made in Germany, RF welded, just like all of our bags from the classic panniers that we've had in the market for 40 plus years to our newer designs like these fork packs, which just clip onto our own QL design that bolts into any adventure style fork with the bosses. Additionally, we have some 2025 product that we're showing for the first time here, including our new Quick Rack XL and Quick Rack Large, and our made in Germany through axles, which we are making so that you can thread our Quick Rack adapters, our studs, into a through axle. If you've never seen our Quick Rack in action, it is designed to go on and come off of a bike in less than 10 seconds. Once you have installed the Once you have installed the studs at the fender mounts, you're pretty much set. All you have to do is adjust the piece that attaches to the seat post, and you're ready to go. So this quick rack is available now in 2 different versions. This one's the quick rack with the top platform, and then we also have a quick rack with no top. That's quick rack light. It's easier to do this when it's actually on a bike and you can reach over it. But yeah, that's the quick rack light. That's quick rack, so it has the platform on top for a rack top bag. Some other cool new, more bike packing orient and bike commuting. We have dry pack, which is essentially a dry bag with a bunch of lashing points, so you can attach it to something like our new handlebar rack, which attaches to our handlebar QR mounts or traditional more mounts. This is just like everything, made in Germany, high frequency welded bag, 5-year warranty, repairable. Comes with our new O strap, which is also made in Germany. Very versatile, durable, waterproof, super high quality stuff from Ortlieb.
Website?
Ortlieb.com.
All right.
Hey, Brett Cole here from Jita Sports and U.S. importer for Dario Pegoretti frames. So on the first here we have the Day Is Done, a modern take on a lugged frame. It has a carbon fowls fork and rim brake calipers. This is a Chavate panel, so this is a one-off panel on the inside with the hand painting. Next, we have 2 versions of the Duende Rock and Roll, which is the newest model from Pegoretti. More tire clearance, and it also included a new fork called the Pyron, which was made to have more volume in that tire. So I have 40s on this demo bike over here in the spaghetti paint job, and then on the next version with the Chavate panels, there are 45s that we squeezed in here with fenders. So there are options for fender mounts on the Rock and Roll. Next, we have the Responsorium disc brake. So this is XCR stainless tubing disc brake version. There's also rim brake options, and this is a 45 centimeters. So this is a new size for Pegoretti and the smallest 45. Luigino, a very traditional lugged frame, 1-inch stereo tube, and this is the Pegoretti Columbus steel tube set. Next, we have Marcello, and this is a Sandra paint job with the swallows. So this is a heat-treated spirit tubing, rim brake only. And next we have Big Leg Emma. It's the same tube set, but it has massive chain stays and then 4 reinforcements on the down tube for extra stiffness. And the reinforcements are actually pierced through and through. So there's actually 4 bars going through, intersecting the frame for increased stiffness. I feel like this is not for mere mortals, but you have to be some level of a god to put that power in there.
Website?
So that you could go to jitasports.com or dariopegoretti.com.
Hi, I'm Brian from Renovo Cycle, and we're based in River Falls, Wisconsin. Mostly focused on gravel bikes, mountain bikes, anything dirt, lots of bike packing bikes.
What's this bike about here, please?
This is the Rare Earth Rendo. It's inspired by the Japanese Odyssey ride in Japan, which is a ride that happens every other year that goes from the full length of Japan on old forest roads. It's really a road bike, but a really rough road bike ride. It's got checkpoints that you have to go through, but you really make your own route, and it's mostly through the mountains and old forest roads. It's a fully steel fork, steel frame, fillet brazed bike, Columbus Max blades on the front for a custom fork, and a Cerakote paint job with custom copper leaf for the logos and the treatment inside the fork blades and the seat stays. Custom bags by Dispersed Bike Packing, and a Ingrid drivetrain. So another feature is the double top tube, which does a couple different things. One, it gives it some torsional stiffness. There's also an extra tube gusset down here, just to add a little extra stiffness in the front of the bike. It really helps to attach the bags, so I can have a full bolt-on bag and be able to bolt right through the top tubes. And it gives a unique look. I love the thin profile of the bike from the side with a really thin top tubes.
Super interesting bike. You've got fully integrated front ends.
Yeah.
Friction shifting.
Yeah. Fully mechanical. Yeah. No wire, no housing to interfere with the bag in the front for bike packing. We have a pretty aggressive cutout in the seat posts. I wanted to have pretty short stays. They're 405. So it's a descending bike for coming down these mountain roads in Japan. So I wanted to make sure that those are nice and short, so good handling. To do that, I really had to take a big swath out of the seat posts.
What is your website?
I'm at rareearthcycle.com.
Hi, I'm Chris. I own Renovo Bikes, and this bike is made from wine barrel staves. Those are individual staves that have been cut out and laminated together, and that shows the red wine stain that I'm featuring. That's a trapezoidal shape. It's sort of a nod to the shape of a barrel stave. I bend wood. I even bend pedal bales, water bottles, bike stands, but everything in here is intricately woodworked and beautifully finished to make an heirloom quality bicycle that, by the way, you can build yourself, because I also do a build kit for less than a third of the cost of one of my finished frames. I can produce this half-built frame for you, which has all the parts and all the geometry perfectly built, and then you will build the parts required to finish off the decking that will then assemble into your own frame that will be a licensed Renovo copy. And this is, we call it our BYOB, which is not what you think, it's build your own bike, and that's one you can build yourself. Lots of information at renovo.bike on our Build Your Own Bike program.
I'm Rich with Restless Custom Bikes, and I brought this fully capable gravel bike today for the Made Show 2024. The difference here is it's a bike that's got a full dropper, so it's a 150 dropper, 31.6. The rotors are 180 front, 160 rear. Most gravel bikes are a 160 rotor. This thing's got a lot more power. It's also got a dropper that the lever is built into that Shimano lever. So just swish it over, you got your dropper, comes right back up. 42 front, 1146 rear. The GRX is only supposed to go to 42, but you can make it shift to 46, no problem. All the cables run inside the down tube and then come out, so if you're servicing the bike, everything's easy to get to. It's a tube within a tube. You can't go wrong putting that wire through the middle. And I did a custom stem for Chris King with the King logo on it to polish it off and make it beautiful. This is also one of the only forks that's rated for a 180 rotor, that Envy Adventure gravel fork. 2.1 tires on there with room for more. but I think that's everything you would ever need to ride rough gravel and spend days in the outdoors. What's your website? RestlessCustomBikes.com.
Hello, I am Curtis Inglis from Retrotec and Inglis Cycles, and I build these bikes. 31 years of building cruiser-inspired modern geometry bicycles, from gravel bikes to mountain bikes to road bikes and kind of anything in between. This one is a bike that I made for Circles over in Japan, and it is a BMX cruiser. So 26-inch wheels, rim brakes, single speed that they wanted. So that one's heading to Japan after this. This one is a Retrotec Enduro, so when the racks are off of it, it's a pretty standard mountain bike that I make. And then I did a collaboration with Rick Hunter on all the racks so that we could have a bike packing bike. And then this is a flat bar gravel bike that I built for a friend of mine in Napa. And we wanted a little bit more stand over height, and so went 27.5 tire wheel size. With the super yummy tires, so this one will actually live in that. And obviously he's really into raw stuff, obviously.
What's your website?
EnglisCycles.com.
My name is Paul Sadoff, builder of Lobster cycles for 207 years. I build whatever somebody wants me to build, so it's all custom, unless of course it's out of my comfort zone, in which case I refer them to somebody else who can do that. But I have a very broad range of what I do. This is an example of one of the things that I'm doing quite a bit of lately. This is a steel, I call it Team TIG SL cyclocross, but really it's a gravel bike. It can take up to about a 42 millimeter tire, but I can make them for bigger tires. When they get really big tires, then they become what I call drop bar mountain bikes. And I do quite a number of those. But this is a proper gravel bike, maybe not necessarily for racing, but for somebody who just does a lot of riding like that and then wants kind of a forever bike. It's steel, so presumably it should last the ages. It has a Shimano GRX 12-speed mechanical group on it. I know that they make a Di2 group, and I think it's really great, but I'm kind of more partial to mechanical stuff myself, and so I wanted an example, something that I felt 100% good about building up and presenting to the customer, saying this is a good bike, it should not let you down. This is an example of a lug road frame. I only build about 2 of these a year. This one, the customer provided me the materials. It is a tube set and lug set from Richard Sachs, a Pegoretti double oversized tube set. The only thing that is not from this set is the wishbone seat stay, which the customer requested, which I made a little half lug that goes around the back side of the seat tube. The bike was painted by Joe's Bicycle Painting in Watsonville, California. I think they did a really wonderful job. It's a classic British paint scheme with the royal blue and then the white head tube. And this bike is all fit up with a Campagnolo group from probably, I don't know, maybe about a dozen years ago. And it weighs, without pedals, a touch over 17 pounds, which is kind of crazy light, in my opinion, for a steel frame. But I've ridden it, and it does not feel flimsy. It feels good. Solid bike.
What's your website?
Website is rocklobstercycles.com.